This piece will be for an issue about heroes. Do you consider yourself a hero?
I don't think of myself as a hero. No, not at all.
What about Mr. Rogers? Is he a hero?
I don't understand the question.
Well, there's you, Fred, and then there's the character you play, Mr. Rogers.
You said it was a play at the plate. Is that what happened to you?
I'm here to interview you, Mr. Rogers.
Well, that is what we're doing, isn't it?
Are you tired of the same old Grand Canyon?
Here we are, kids, the Grand Canyon.
It's so old and boring. I want a new one. Now!
Hello, I'm Tom Hanks. The U.S. government has lost its credibility, so it's borrowing some of mine.
Tousle my hair, Mr. Hanks.
Sure thing, son. Now, I'm pleased to tell you all about the new Grand Canyon. Coming this weekend. It's east of Shelbyville and south of Capital City.
That's where Springfield is!
It's nowhere near where anything is or ever was. This is Tom Hanks saying if you're going to pick a government to trust, why not this one?
Did you see that? Yes, they're going to destroy Springfield.
This is Tom Hanks saying if you see me in person, please leave me be.
Hello, this is Nicholson, 1968. I hope you're doing well. And no fancy intros, no music remixes, no background music, nothing to distract you, just you and me. Serious talk, serious video. It's going to speak to how the secret societies and elite speak to each other. They encode things. And what I'm making this video for is to speak to the latest so-called coronavirus pandemic. And when I saw this, I saw part of it on Facebook about Tom Hanks tweeting with this typewriter, which you see on the screen. So before I get into this tweet, I'm going to touch on some of the stuff you've probably seen, but I'm going to dive deep into this tweet that is very, very encoded, telling you something that you need to hear. Very arrogant by Tom Hanks to put this, very mocking in our face of this particular tweet. But before I do that, I want to give you some background here on secret societies, especially the Freemasons. Freemasons, the highest degree of Freemason is a 33rd degree Mason, 33 being the highest number in certain lodges, but it's mocking Christ because Christ died at 33. That's one 33rd degree in Freemason. Also, why do they call themselves Freemason? What do they want to be free from? Free from the Creator and His Son. They don't want to answer to the Creator, and they don't want to answer to the Son. That's why they do what they do. If you watch some of my videos, again, that's a whole other thing. You can do that on the side, is trying to live another way other than the way we've been shown to live. Trying to live forever with technology. You have to understand how the secret societies, especially the Freemasons, what they believe and why they do what they do. And they believe this lie. As when you get to the higher level of the 33 or 33rd degree Freemasonic degree, they believe in a light. And that light is of Lucifer. They believe Lucifer is the true light, not Jesus Christ. That's what they're taught. They believe in the garden that Adam and Eve were held in bondage, held captive. And it wasn't until Lucifer, the old serpent, showed up in the garden and shared knowledge with them that freed them from that bondage, from the old evil creator. That's what they believe. And they believe one day, through knowledge and technology, that they can become their own gods. That's what they're doing. Call it the craft. They call it the craft. Like I said, New World Order, building the Antichrist kingdom. Call it whatever you want. It's basically the same. That's why they do what they're doing. It's all about control in this realm, not the next realm. That's why they're trying to live forever here. So, that being said, 33 is a very significant number to the secret societies, and especially the elite, because of that. And this tweet that was put out is very telling. And let me just tell you this. Tom Hanks announced he had coronavirus with his wife in Australia. Remember that, Australia. March 11th, which that's the third month, 11th day. 3 times 11, 33 symbolism. Coincidence? Take that coincidence and put it on the shelf. And I'm going to put a whole bunch of coincidences on a shelf, and the shelf will probably collapse by the end of this video. There's just too many things. But he announced it on March 11th, and then on March 17th, he tweeted this. And I'm going to read it to you. It says, "Hi folks, good news. 1 week after testing positive in self-isolation, the symptoms are much the same. No fever, but the blahs. Folding the laundry and doing the dishes leads to a nap on the couch. Bad news, my wife has won 6 straight hands of gin rummy and leads by 201 points, but I have learned not to spread my Vegemite so thick. I traveled here with a typewriter, one I used to love. We are all in this together. Flatten the curve, Hanks." Okay. So most people, when they read that, oh, that's so sweet. They're playing gin rummy and they're isolating and just, family time together and everything. That's what they believe. But that's not what it's telling the elite, the secret societies. Okay, so let's start with this. Okay, remember the coincidences. First of all, the typewriter is a Corona typewriter. Now, what are the chances that this enthusiast, he has hundreds of typewriters, travels to Australia with this one typewriter made by Corona? Coincidence. It's on the shelf. Very unlikely. Also, he says here that my wife has won 6 straight hands of gin rummy and leads by 201 points. Okay, first of all, understand what gin rummy is about. Gin rummy is a game that what you have to do is get rid of the dead wood. You can look this up. Look up the game, the rules of gin rummy. You have to get rid of the dead wood. And the whole purpose is to get like-minded cards, 3 of a kind preferably, but like-minded cards, and then you throw in the dead wood. Get rid of the dead wood. Hear what I'm saying? The object of this game is to throw away and get rid of your dead wood. Another coincidence. Okay? Then he says, my wife's leading by 201 points. Now, when I'm telling a story to people I don't really know or something like this, all he could have said was just, my wife has won 6 straight hands of gin rummy. Period. But notice he actually goes on to tell you by 201 points. I don't really care how much, do we really care, Tom, how much your wife beats you at gin rummy? No, it's for a reason. 201 points. 2 things going on in this. 201 is a reference to Event 201. It was a exercise pandemic put on by John Hopkins. It was the founder, Bill Gates, and his wife participated in this event. They backed it, bankrolled it. This event was done last year, I believe October, November of last year. And the exercise was around a pandemic called coronavirus. You look up Bill Gates, he believes in depopulation through vaccines. And just look all this stuff up. Most of you know that. Most that have followed me and are watching this, you already know this. This is for people you share with that are so asleep that you can't reach them. But hopefully this will at least get them thinking. So Event 201, that is a reference to that event. That's why I was mentioning 201. Let's back up a little bit. She won 6 hands. So that means she won 6 hands and she got 201 points. Okay, divide 201 Divide 6 into 2 on 1, what do you get? 33.5. Another reference to 33. Freemasonic. There's no accident. Okay? There's no if you think it's a coincidence, here we go, we'll put that on the shelf too. Then it says, but I've learned not to spread my Vegemite so thick. Okay, Vegemite is a product that was produced and founded in Australia. There's no mystery to that. But here's the thing. Did you know that Vegemite was the first product, listen to me, the first product electronically scanned into their system in Australia? When they went to the barcode system, Vegemite was the first product scanned. Mark of the Beast, Antichrist, scanning, barcodes, whatever you want to say. I'm not saying Vegemite's the mark of the beast. I'm just saying the reference to Vegemite is deeper than what it's just saying. Is Tom knows. The elite know what they're putting in their tweets here, okay? Another coincidence, okay? Put that on the shelf too. And he says, I traveled here with a typewriter, one that I used to love. Now, I've kind of mentioned the typewriter, which is obvious, Corona typewriter. That's pretty obvious. But do you know how?
Greetings, brothers and sisters. One of my friends watched this video, this movie Terminal, last night and sent me some interesting quotes from it. And this is one scene where Tom Hanks, well, let's just get into it, shall we?
I have a bit of bad news. It seems that your country has suspended all traveling privileges on passports that have been issued by your government. And our State Department has revoked the visa that was going to allow you to enter the United States.
Boom, that would never happen in reality. I'm glad this is a movie. This would never happen. Closing of travel to foreign countries. America would never do that, right? This is just a fictional movie. Just a movie. It won't happen in real life. It didn't happen in real life. Notice the success poster back here.
I don't think he gets it. Okay.
He doesn't get it. He's not getting it.
Imagine that these potato chips are Krakosia, okay?
Krakosia.
Krakosia.
Yes.
Krakosia.
Okay.
Okay.
So the potato chips are Krakosia.
Okay.
Okay? And this apple,
Big apple. Big apple.
the big apple, represents the Liberty Rebels. Okay?
Bam. Krakosia just got smashed. He's got a magic 8-ball on his desk, right?
Okay? New government. Revolution. You understand?
There's a revolution, new government.
So all the flights in and out of your country have been suspended indefinitely. And the new government has sealed all the borders, which means that your passport and visa are no longer valid. So currently,
Boom. Well, glad that won't ever happen in real life.
you are a citizen of nowhere.
You're a citizen of nowhere.
You don't qualify for any of these things. You are at this time simply unacceptable.
You are unacceptable.
Include Brooklyn Bridge, Empire State, Broadway show, Cats.
Well, I got more bad news for you, Mr. Navorsky. Cats has closed.
Cats is closed. Just the movie Cats was released and it bombed.
It seems that you have fallen through a small crack in the system.
Small crack in the system. There's a small crack in the system. And he's giving him the 666. And here's the, after he says goodbye. Boom. Department of Homeland Security. There's just so much symbolism packed into this thing. And so he's stuck in the terminal, if you remember the movie. But in terms of, right, his passport and his country has had a coup. They've been destroyed. The government has been destroyed. The passport doesn't exist. He's no longer a citizen of any country, right? I mean, this is the official story, right? But it is a metaphor for what's going on, like, right now. And so here's kind of the pivotal scene. I mean, there's a lot of predictive programming here. But this is the big scene right here. And he's talking to this guy. He's a policeman or a person from Homeland Security. And the guy says this.
You are not to enter through those doors. You are not to leave this building. America is closed.
America closed. America closed.
You're not supposed to leave the building. You're not supposed to go outside. America is closed. Or America is canceled, as one brilliant man said recently. America's closed.
Well, what I do? There's only one thing you can do here, Mr. Navorsky. Shop.
And look at all these people walking by with the masks on. All you can do is stay home and shop. These people walking by, Chinese people perhaps, right, walking by with masks on. America's closed, and all you can do is stay home and shop. So then he hears the news.
Meanwhile, a troubled populace has to wonder if they will ever find political stability.
A troubled populace has to wonder if they'll ever find political stability. Okay, so there's a big thing about fear, right, coming up, where there's a discussion about fear and how America works with fear, right? But first I want to review what was said here just a moment ago.
You are not to leave this building. America is closed.
America closed. America closed.
What you just saw and heard there was the policeman saying America's closed, and then Tom Hanks saying America's closed twice, right? Why is that significant? Because your unconscious mind and your spiritual bodies, your spiritual essence, remembers things better when you hear it 3 times, right? If you repeat things 3 times, right? Body, mind, soul, whatever it is, right? Father, Son, Holy Ghost. I mean, these various trinities that are there. And for whatever reason, if you repeat things 3 times, it's something that, you know, I often do here, you just remember it better. You remember it on a holistic level, right? And so there's this, you know, you'll have these normies that will come here and leave comments. And if you're one of those people.
The best thing about being seen as the nicest guy in Hollywood is that no one searches my backyard for bodies.
I'm sorry if this is kind of bursting your bubble. All this information is new.
Keys are an American typewriter. 88. Most people that have followed me, when I just said that number, 88, they know exactly what it means. For you who have never followed me or saw any of my videos, 88 is a very significant number for many, many reasons, but I'm going to tell you some of them here that's important. In a Masonic lodge, in the middle of the lodge, there's a floor, and it's a checkerboard floor of black and white, dark and light. What that signifies, knowledge of good and evil, knowledge of light and dark. That's part of it. But on that floor, it's a chess set, or a chess board, or checkerboard, whatever you want to say. It's an 8 by 8 floor, and it's a reference to 88. It's also a reference to the 88 constellations in the sky. There's 88 modern constellations in the sky. It's a reference to the fallen, from heaven to earth. From heaven to the Masonic tracing board, 88. And if you don't believe me, you got to look at some of my videos. 88 is very important. That's why Adolf Hitler, if you see some of the skinheads with their jackets or whatever, they have 88 on there. They believe in a master race. They believe in doing away and getting rid of the dead wood to have that one race, 88. Adolf Hitler, that master race kind of thing. There's references to 88. Anyway, moving on with the typewriter is, the typewriter is very significant here as well because it's not digital. It's not the modern technology. It's the things of old coming back, the typewriter. That's kind of the symbolism there as well. Tom Hanks, he's the same person that was at the premiere of Angels and Demons that spoke about the Illuminati at CERN in Switzerland. The CERN, if you don't know about CERN or D-Wave, you need to look in that too as well. Things that they're trying to do. They're trying to change and manipulate time because they know their time is limited here on Earth. That's what is really going on. What are the next steps for them? I don't know how far they're going to go with this time. I haven't seen anything to say they're going to slow this thing down. They're trying to get digital money into this thing somehow. I don't know if they're going to pull back. It just depends on what they see, the algorithms within what we search engines in the Google. They're looking at what people are looking at and, depending on their next move. But I want you to be aware that secret societies quite well thrive today. The elite thrive today because we're too busy being distracted and not understanding their language and how they speak and how they talk amongst themselves. And you have to understand that to really get the full big picture of what's going on. This isn't about Trump. It's not about Obama, Clinton. It never was. The world is a stage. They're just puppets. You have to get way back behind the curtain to see who's really pulling the strings.
And so there's no denying there's movies within movies. You take Tom Hanks, who's become a figure, a public figure. Many of you saw this movie, right? I saw this movie. And you heard 3 times somebody say, America's closed, America's closed, America's closed. Don't go through those doors, right?
You are not to leave this building. America is closed.
America closed. America closed.
All you can do is shop. This is what you heard. We all heard it, right? It's stored somewhere inside your system. And now it's being pulled up, right? Tom Hanks, right? You have a memory association with Tom Hanks and hearing America's closed 3 times, right? And these other things that are being said here. And these, Asian women, possibly Chinese women, walking by with masks on, and now we have the coronavirus. Maybe it's a planned thing. Maybe this is divinity, right? There are rules here. I'll get into this more. Let's watch the fear part. I'll talk about the rules after that. But there are rules here, right? Rules of spiritual and psychological warfare. And I'll talk about that in just a moment. Let's watch this part about fear.
So I go New York City?
You can go to New York City tonight. But you only get to go if we can establish a credible fear.
You can only be set free from your prison if there's a credible fear, right? And again, there's the official story in the movie, but then there's the movie within the movie, right? And there's Tom Hanks in the movie, and there's Tom Hanks in what I call the show, and in what we're seeing now in terms of the corona drama.
If we can establish a credible fear.
Fear?
Mm-hmm. Fear.
Fear. From what?
Well, that's the best part. It doesn't really matter what you're afraid of. It's all the same to Uncle Sam.
It doesn't matter what you're afraid of. It's all the same to Uncle Sam. Now, again, I just saw bits and pieces, and there's probably a lot more, right? There's flights being canceled. He's walking through the airport, and on the TV, all these flights are being canceled, right? And be interesting to see which cities are being canceled. I mean, all these things, right? You understand this? And so there are two things here. There is the divine plan, and I'm going to come back to that, right? And then there's the man-made controlling system, a system of control, of human control, of people who are, disconnected from God, materialistic in nature, right? They've gone to the dark side. And there's rules in their plans. There's rules in what they do. That's why you see what's called predictive programming. And it's all...
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighborhood. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to.
Hello, neighbor.
Hey, I'm looking for Fred Rogers. In here.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? Please won't you be my neighbor? Hello, neighbor.
Mr. Rogers.
Right now, we're queuing up the topic of coronavirus here on Q. Pam Kellogg is a public health nurse with Moore County. The county has issued an advisory on this coronavirus. Pam, what is it?
Well, coronaviruses do circulate, but this is a unique virus. It's COVID-19, and it's a virus that we've never seen circulate before. It passes from person to person.
To interview you.
It is so nice to meet you.
It's a beautiful day in this neighborhood, a beautiful day for a neighbor. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? It's a neighborly day in this beauty wood, a neighborly day for beauty. Would you be mine? Could you be mine? I have always wanted to have a neighbor.
tell him, in order to export medicines from this country, he needs to have the proper form. He needs to have a medicinal purchase license. Okay? You understand me, Victor?
Не може да изнесеш лекарството без документ. Тези казват, че нямаш документ.
Ты понимаешь, батя заболел. Он вот такой мужик вообще. Он 72, но держится как кремень. Все сам делает. Крышу, все сам. Дрова рубит. Понимаешь? Заболел 6 лет назад, такое же было. Ничего не помогало. Вот только из Канады лекарство помогло. Видишь? Это канадское лекарство. У меня еще есть. Вот, у меня еще есть. Дай сюда. 4 штуки.
This is why he go to Canada.
He needs to have the form signed by the local hospital who's treating his father and a doctor in Canada. These medicines have to stay in the United States now that they're here. They have to stay here.
Да оформиш документите.
Я за тебя Бога молю. Если хочешь, давай так.
He's begging you.
I know, I can see that he's begging. I can see that.
Ты приезжай к нам.
I'm sorry, sir. You'll have to take a flight in the morning. The medicine stays here. I'm sorry.
Сказать не.
Sit him down!
All right. Thank you, Victor. Good job. Thank you. Let's go.
Goat.
What?
Goat. The medicine is for goat.
Goat?
Yes. Medicine is for goat. Yeah, goat.
He said that?
Yes. He say we not understand. I not understand. God.
Wait, what are you saying? You misunderstood him. That the medicine is not for his dying father.
No. The Krakozia, the name for a father, sound like goat. I make mistake.
Why are you doing this, Victor?
Medicine is for goat.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No, it's not.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. You. That's right. That's right. I've been reading the immigration forms. The blue one.
Blue?
Yep, blue.
Blue?
Blue. The blue form. The one that says if it's an animal, he doesn't need the medicinal purchase license. He can, you know it. No, then he can just bring the drugs in. It's very good, Victor. That's very good. Why are you doing this? Huh? You don't know him. You don't know the rules. Look at me. I was going to help you. Now, I want you to ask him. No, not you. I want you to ask him. I want to hear him say it. I want to hear him say who the medicine is for. Please, who the medicine is for.
Искот да знает за кого е лекарството.
Answer him, Mr. Milodragovich. Who are the pills for? Okay, the pills stay, he goes. That's it.
Come on now. Let's go. Easy. Take it easy. Come on. Goat. Medicine for goat. Medicine for goat. Medicine for goat. Medicine for goat.
Give him the pills.
Just no.
Спасибо.
Go to war with me, and you go to war with the United States of America. And then you will know when that fight is over why the people of Krakosia wait in line for cheap toilet paper while Uncle Sam wipes his ass with Charmin 2-ply.
Hello, hello, hello.
Start of the end of the world, but it's feeling just like every other morning before. Now I wonder what my life is gonna mean if it's gone. The cars are moving like a half a mile an hour, and I started staring at the passengers and waving goodbye. Can you tell me what was ever really special about